I was wrong in doing what I did. No! Are you listening? I don't care about fucking money. I know how to live without money. It's not something new to me.
Sean here, and that sound is my paperwork. I actually have it. So I'll be doing my proper video later tonight. Everything Lorne does scares the shit out of me. And the thing that scared me today, and what I'm very concerned about, Lorne thinks he's figured it out. I think we all love this Lorne. Well, I told you Xavier is behind it all. Doesn't have a clue that Xavier has nothing to do with any of this. But yet, even if he hears this, and I say that, I bet Xavier made him say that. He really is clueless, but I really do enjoy when he thinks he's figured it out. Casey, God love her soul, has tried to be as honest in character as she could possibly be. And this is what scares me about this prick. She tells him she went down there to meet somebody named Jamie. She has a picture of herself with Jamie. She got married to somebody named Jamie. All Lorne can focus on is the fact that he shouldn't be on the computer in the first place, but he's listening to who he says is Reborn and Wine Lover. First, as I said in the comments, it sounds like he's playing it through a 1970s police megaphone over the phone. Can you hear that? No, Lorne, I can't. How can you not hear that? But this guy, after she says that, because this would be the first thing I said, straight up, this would be the first thing I said. Oh my God. If Reborn and Wine Lover are Jamie, who did you meet up with? It's right out of a horror movie. But not Lorne. Lorne doesn't care about anything. That's you, Casey. He doesn't care about your safety. He doesn't care about you. He doesn't want you to have any attention. He wants it all on him. And he's listening like a moron to something that's just going to make him frustrated, but it makes him feel important. God, he sounded like he felt so important in that video. Yeah, they're talking about me. All those documents of me. My information. Somehow, through all of this, he still blames the catfish women. You picked up the phone, Lorne. Back to what I'm saying. She says, I went down and I got married. Look, here's a picture of us. We're together. Lorne just skips over it. He doesn't care. He thinks the woman is fake. He doesn't tell Casey straight out that he thinks she's catfishing him. And I get the feeling he really doesn't want to believe it, and that he truly doesn't believe it. So if that is the case, then why in the hell did he not ask her, or even sound concerned that she might have met up with a psycho? Because first of all, they were speaking on the phone, or the robot, or the phone, and she went down there and met somebody that she assumed was on the phone that didn't have an accent. Lorne didn't even bat an eye. Well, Wine Lover's got an accent. Lorne, what you should have said is, oh my God, the person you met didn't have an accent? We need to find out who she was. That's scary. The problem with Lorne and the word catfish is that Lorne thinks catfish women exist only to get his information and make videos about him on the internet. If Lorne ever got catfished in real life by someone who wasn't doing it in the way that the Lornography community has done it, if he ever got catfished by someone in real life and it ended up being a guy, Lorne's life could be in danger. He doesn't know what catfish means, and you'll never convince me otherwise. He didn't know what a catfish was until somebody probably explained to him, Lorne, these women are catfishing you. They weren't trying to gain anything. I mean, information maybe. Lorne freely offered it up. Again, it's his fault, not the catfish women. He was so excited to get to go to his class. I bet he feels important when he's telling them, boys, light them up. I got catfished again, boys. Celebration time. Get out the cigars. Let's get the champagne going. I got some stories to tell you. He's a complete and total tool. And I'm sure in that class, every time he talks, they just want him to shut up. I can't imagine anyone going, you know what? Let's listen to this 87. Let's listen to his stories. They're going to be great. Because as we know, move some dirt over here, move some dirt over there. He doesn't have anything to talk about except for these catfish women. So when he goes to that class, I haven't heard the next part of it. Who knows? Maybe he reveals it. But I haven't heard the next part of it. Maybe he goes to class and goes, Yep, you ain't gonna believe what happened to me. I guarantee you he left out the part about Lamondre. Then again, he's in 87. He might tell these sex offenders, yeah, she sent me a dildo that she'd been using. There are pictures of me licking it on the internet. I thought those pictures were a prank, by the way. When I first saw them, I tried to ask. Nobody would answer. I tried to ask, are these real? Somebody please tell me if these are real. And finally someone goes, oh dude, they're very real. He needs friends. Lorne is not a good detective. He needs friends. You need a team of people when shit like this goes down. You can't do it all on your own. And if you do, it's going to take longer. I have several friends if I need to go to. One of them's name is Justin. He's the guy I told you about, a straight up Viking. Believes in the old gods, Norse. Highly intelligent guy. I just find it very interesting, and that's why we've been friends for so long. But I could go to Justin and go, hey man, I need some help. This happened to me. I'm embarrassed. But I need help tracking these people down. Now, first off, I wouldn't track them down. I would disappear. We already discussed this. But if I'm Lorne, he doesn't have any smart friends. I don't think he's supposed to be on the computer. I believe the judge... Oh, man, I wish I could talk to Shins. I believe the judge told him that it wasn't a good idea, or told his probation and parole officers that it wasn't a good idea for him to go on there and worry about these people. He just needs to get on with his life. But again, he's on the computer listening to people talk about him. You need friends, people who are good in different areas, people who have different perspectives that would be able to think of words that you may not be able to use, terms, when you're trying to research things. But he doesn't have friends. He thinks he's this genius. He opens up YouTube, types his name in and goes, oh, here we go, boys, let me get out the Jergens. Types his name in, and I bet he listens to every single video. That is his excuse for not working, I'm sure. Well, I can't go to work. I got to be on here. I got to find out what's going on with me and everybody talking about me. Think of the wasted days this guy's had. Sitting at home with a freaking bottle of Jergens and a condom or whatever else he would have with him. Looking at shit about himself on YouTube, and also refusing to get a job that he could get, one that doesn't pay him what he thinks he's owed. Working on that dilapidated trailer, he'll never move forward. Not only, he is literally, well, not literally, figuratively, living in the past. He's going back and reliving all of this stuff that happened, that he hated, that he complains about all the time. If you don't like it, Lorne, why don't you just let it go? What could you possibly gain from going back and listening to these videos? Nothing. You'll sit back, you pull your Jergens out, you pull your little crooked broken dink out, and you'll sit there and wank it to the thought of these people going to jail. They're not going to go to jail, Lorne, because you willingly provided all of that information. You answered the phone. They talked to you. They did not exploit you for money. You are a thief. Grand theft. You are a thief. And you are an unrepentant alcoholic pedo. And you think sitting around all day, listening to phone conversations you had, not that somebody else had, you're not listening to some other Lorne Armstrong. You're listening to yourself talk. Think about that, you 87 Cornville redneck pea brain. You're listening to conversations you yourself had. Now, if that was all you were doing, you could just go, oh my God, narcissism. But that's not all you're doing. You're listening to what other people say about you, and you're concerned about it. You should be concerned about people in your own area, people in your neighborhood. You should be concerned about people you're trying to form relationships with. But you're not. You're going back and listening to these catfish calls, and that's going to get you nowhere. One thing I didn't understand was that Lorne didn't take the opportunity to come to Casey's rescue, to lump her in with him. Oh my God, we both got catfished. That person wasn't even the same catfish Jamie. Boy, we dodged a bullet there. Instead, he just immediately glosses over it, doesn't care about her one bit. And I think the truth is that when he finds out, because I think he does, finds out that Casey's supposedly, if it is a guy, that voice changer is amazing. But if he finds out that Casey is indeed a man speaking through a voice changer, I believe that same person could call him back with that voice and say, this is the real Casey Morrow. But you would have to take this tone with Lorne. I want to know why there are videos of you talking to somebody that's supposed to be me out there. Explain that to me, Lorne, and have him, I'm the one who got catfished. No, Lorne, I don't care. My acting career depends on this, and you've been talking to somebody impersonating me, and now my name is associated with you. Now, after you did that for about a week, Lorne would fall in love with you. And there you go. Casey number 5, 10, 15, or 20. I work with someone who will read the top of the email and then fire an answer back without reading the entire thing, and then usually send a follow-up. Apologies, didn't see the bottom, but here's the answer to the thing at the top again. And that's Lorne. He can't look more than one move ahead. He goes online, he's listening to these. He doesn't get any further than that. You would expect a giant, whodunit map in his head where he's connecting all the dots. But he can't. It's like the string that comes out that usually goes to those thumbtacks. You know, the red string that you see in all the movies. It's like it's the size of his dink, about 2.5 inches. It just doesn't get the job done, just like his dink. It's at that moment when he sees the surface, he just starts jumping to conclusions. Now, there are some things that, I would expect any moron to be able to figure out. You're listening to two people talk about you. And he says so proudly, Reborn and Wine Lover are both Jamie. Come on, man. Anybody who listened to this could tell immediately. They would probably say, oh, there were two people playing it? That's funny. But to Lorne, it's a giant revelation. It's this huge revelation. So why did I say he's dangerous? Well, we know all the reasons he's dangerous, but this one is concerning. He believes his wife is cheating on him, because of course he would. She stays late at work, and a guy walks her out to her car to make sure she's safe because there have been a string of break-ins in the area. Now, Lorne, he would stop at, guy walks you out to your car, and he would never investigate any further. Do you see the hint? What I'm saying is, this would be something that I would expect from him, and this is why you get the abusive Lorne. He would never dig deeper and try to look at the entire picture. He wouldn't even research to see if there was something going on. Why would he need to walk you to the car? There were a string of break-ins. Why ain't you seen it on the news? That's because you're too busy fapping it to a little house on the prairie, Lorne. So any story you told him, anything, Lorne gets his rocks off, I guess, by figuring it all out. Detective Lorne is on the case. He loves to have something held over your head. And in every single call, especially those people that have the addiction problems. Well, with Lorne, he loves to hold that stuff over your head. He's trying to hold it over Casey's head because he wants to feel like he's got a little bit of power, got some bargaining room going on. But if it was a real woman, there would be no bargaining. There would be no discussion. It would be, I told you I know what's going on. Slap! Yeah! You're not dead. I've mentioned before that I was kind of shocked he wasn't religious. I'm not knocking it, I'm just saying. I've got a friend named Mike. If you ask him anything, why anything is something, he'll go, this is the way God intended. Okay, dude, you're not going to do any scientific research at all? You don't want to know how things are made? You don't want to go one step beyond? And I think that's Lorne. He just wants to see the surface. I got it all figured out. Doesn't want to go any deeper because that would make him think. So he just stops at Reborn and Wine Lover or Jamie. Doesn't want to look at anything else. He couldn't piece together from catfish number 1 to catfish number 100 if he had to. He could never figure out that the center of all those red strings is his dumbass picking up the phone. Probation and parole. If you ever listen to our videos in the community, keep this stupid SOB off the internet. Keep him off the phone. While I would love content to come until I die, at the same time, this guy is not contributing anything to society. He has nothing to offer. The only thing he's contributed to society is the Sting video. The catfish women are the ones that provided everything else. So Lorne, you provided 20 minutes of entertainment. The catfish women supplied the hundreds, maybe thousands of hours of entertainment for us. He really does need someone to sit him down and explain to him that you need to get to further your education. You need to get some friends in your life. I'm going to send you to a mandatory friends group. You're going to go on mandatory outings. You're going to interact with people. Because if the only people Lorne has to interact with are his sex offender class pals, he's never going to get any better. Because again, like I said earlier today, I think there's always someone worse in those sex offender classes than Lorne Armstrong. He can always go back to, well, I never really did anything. I just talked on the internet. And one last thing. Instead of figuring out why, as he says, I don't know why, I'm trying to figure out, I can't figure out why my head wasn't right. Instead of trying to figure that out, this guy is going and trying to figure out where the catfish came from, who they are, what people are saying about him, worrying about everything else except for the core issue. Lorne Armstrong, if you change, you would shock the world. But I don't think you're going to. And I think you're going to be infatuated with picking up the phone. I think you're going to be obsessed with it. And no matter what you say, you're the dumbest human being on the planet. And we wake up every day thanking our Maker that we are not you. Everyone in the community is now dumber for having to listen to your voice. Thank you, and may God have mercy on your soul, Lorne Armstrong. Rant over. I love you guys. Hopefully I'll have that narcissism sociopath video out tonight. I'll see you in the next one.